Good evening, everyone. My name is Venus Henderson-Hughes, and I am the founder and CEO of Henderson-Hughes Health Partners H3P. And I'm also the founder and principal of VHHughes Consulting, LLC. And tonight, we will be talking about the benefits of websites. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. See if I can invite some people. So I'm gonna give a few minutes for everybody to show up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get started. No problem. So first of all, I want to thank VHHughes for inviting me to do this talk. I really do appreciate the fact that she opened her group for me to speak again. The last time I spoke, I was in Mesa, Arizona, and so we've been in Lansing, Michigan for 5 months now. So we're readjusting to Michigan life and Michigan weather, which today was a beautiful day. So thankful for that. So I'll give it a few more minutes and see if anybody else is going to join us. Otherwise, we're going to get started. See if we can adjust this just a bit. And why my camera looks so grainy. Hopefully that doesn't show up on your end. So one of the first things I'm going to get started. One of the first things about being a business owner is when you say that you are a business owner, the first thing that someone asks you is, what's your website? And a lot of people think that in a day and age where social media is king or queen, if you will, websites are basically obsolete. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. When I first started H3P in 2012, November 2012, and when I met with the Health Literacy Coalition, the first thing they asked me was, what was my website? And at that point, my website was being built. And the reason why people ask about websites is because of the fact is that they are considered the biggest part of your brand. Yes, a business card is part of your brand, but a website is a 24-hour accessible part of your brand where you can create what is put out there. And I actually have a comparison and contrast with regards to social media versus websites. First thing with social media, I know the pros for social media are that it's quick. It's quick and it's free most of the time. You don't have much to do to maintain it. Um, it's global. It's definitely an international thing. There are so many people who can reach you from all over the world. And it is part of your branding. It is another source of branding. Some of the cons with social media is that you have a limited design to it. For instance, with Facebook, you get to put a picture up. You can put pictures all through your profile, but you can't design it any different than anybody else's Facebook profile page. You can put different pictures up there, sure enough, but basically when you see one Facebook page, you've seen another. It is not under your control. You are at the mercy of whoever owns Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, etc. And you cannot set the conditions for it because, again, you don't own it. With a website, and a lot of people, good evening, Lexi. Thanks for joining me. With a website, you get a variety of options. And what people fail to realize is that there are free options out there for websites. And I think a lot of people don't look at the free options because they think that there are less than. Wix is one of the options that is free, and they have really nice websites. They really do. In order for you to buy it, it doesn't even cost that much. So that's an option. Also, um, a website gives you a lot of credibility, especially being a small business owner. When they can go in and they can check out your About Us, they can check out your services, your events, your whatever you have to post with regard to your company. I know, again, looking at social media, it looks like you can do all that, but you have so much more availability to do that on your website, especially within the pages. We're talking a good 5 to 10 pages, whereas that with a social media profile, it's just a one page. You have full control over your website. You decide what do you want to put on your website. And you have better marketing. You can put on your products, your services. What else? Your hours. You can have it set up where people, and yes, I know that you can do that with social media as well, but you basically can have your website work for you much more freely than social media. Some of the cons, and there are cons with a website, believe it or not, and it goes down to the maintenance. Keeping up to date with content. A lot of people don't realize that when a new year starts, you need to change your copyright date. It sounds weird, it sounds really trivial, but it shows that you are keeping your website up to date. Let me check the page. I made some notes. The increased complexity of a website because designs continue to change. There are things that you must know if you're not a person who creates websites. There are things that you may know. There are things that you don't know that you should know. So definitely that's another thing. And when it comes to making websites, period, or even asking for a website, there's time that takes, I create websites and people don't realize it's not a overnight thing. Yes, if you if you decide to rush one and you decide, but when you make a website, especially because when I make a website, I make them in that person's vision, not my vision. So I have to interview my client to find out exactly what they're looking for. Um, in that, making sure that we have a template that will fit their vision. And if not, getting the correct one that will fit it. And that takes time, that takes effort. It's not an overnight thing. And depending on the complexity of what they want, it could be a week or more for a website. And because of that, a lot of people decide not to do it. And I think because there's such this stigma about a good website costing at least $500 to $1,000, and that's not really true. So, the main thing, especially as a small business owner, when we speak so much about branding, I think that the main thing that people think about first is social media. Second, of course, is your business cards. And websites always seem to be a secondary thing. One thing that people don't realize is that if you don't have the content to make a full, 5-page, 7-page website, you can always have a landing page. A landing page will give people enough to say, and it's just one page, and you can have that right there until you can build. It's just putting yourself out there enough for people to recognize, hey, this person has content, and it gives them enough to know about you until you can build the full website. One of the things that I look at when I do build websites is I start with the first page, which is your home page. And of course, we're going to have a contact page. And then it is up to my client as to what goes in the middle. Of course, I know there's going to be an About Us page. What do you want on your About Us page? How much content do you want on your About Us page? That About Us page really is your business card for real, because it tells people why you're in business. It tells people how long you've been in business. It tells people about your business, your services. What services do you provide? How often are you providing them? If you have something that you are truly selling like a product, then you may have a store on your website. Are the things shipped directly to me? Is there a middleman? These are the things that you put on your website in order to get your customers their attention. And of course, if you want, which I know I have on mine, I have a way for people to make comments as well on my website. Give me feedback. What do you feel that I need to improve on my website? These are all the things that are out there in order to make your brand better. Lexi, I see you're the only one that's here. Do you have any questions? One of the things that I know about websites is that 84% of people, when you say you have a business and they find out the name of your business, they're going to look for your website. That is a lot of people looking for you out there in cyberspace. And if you don't have anything out there besides a Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and again, there's nothing wrong with those, people are looking. That is the huge amount of people to lose, potential customers that you're going to lose. So that is something that people should consider. And again, as I said before, a website does not have to break the bank. There are plenty of free websites, and you can style them yourself. It is not the case of you have to pay all of this money for this phenomenal website. When you get ready and you are in a space to get in a more expensive website, then do that. But at least put your name out there and your brand out there so people can see you in other places. The thing about a website is you control the metrics as well, which is a huge important thing. A lot of people are caught up on the Facebook metrics. I hear that a lot, especially when I talk to people and they go, oh my goodness, I need to respond to something because it'll make it seem like I'm less than that. When you have your website set up with the metrics, it not only finds your customers, the customers come in and they see everything, but it puts your brand out there. You get to the first page of Google, which is what everybody has a goal for. You want to be on the first page of Google. You want to be that first person. This is how you set your website up for that. You can't do that on Facebook. You're at the mercy of their metrics. Well, I really thought that we would have had a great turnout for this, but I am not disappointed at all. Definitely, if you catch the replay, please put hashtag replay on there. I am, again, thankful for this opportunity. And if anybody has any questions with regard to websites, or anything business related, feel free to reach out to me at VHHughes at h3p.org. My website, oh, definitely if you guys want to check out my websites, because I did them myself, so I'll type those in for you. Henderson-Hughes Health Partners is my nonprofit, and VHHughes Consulting is my for-profit that deals with business consulting. So we help people like myself learn how to start their business from the ground up, as well as a whole other thing, or more, other things and more. So we definitely are versatile in that, and we are excited to help people just like ourselves, especially small business owners, to succeed. And in doing so, we do help you with preparing your website, because of course your website, as Coach KJ Johnson says, that's your brand. So that is part of your brand, and you want your brand to be the best that is out there. So yes, we are on all social media. So we are on both. Well, VHHughes Consulting is only on Twitter and Facebook. H3P is on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. And I did that because, one, the nonprofit was out longer. We just officially branched out VHHughes Consulting from the nonprofit last July. So we haven't built all those profiles for those two organizations to be like that. But eventually, VHHughes Consulting will be on all the different social media platforms. But both businesses do have their own websites and their separate websites. And you also can link your websites by just putting a link into your page referring to the other website. So we have that as well. Well, what else can I think of with regard to websites? Websites, the simplest website can still tell so much. And when you think of a website, truly you have to think of it as like a digital business card with and more, if that makes sense. And I say and more because, of course, you know, your business card has your name and the business address and your phone number. And of course, you put on your web address if you have one. Well, with your website, not only do you have all of those things, but you can add and more, which is, you know, your services and your any specials that you may have, any promotions that you may have, any events that you have. As a matter of fact, I have an event coming up on April 20th. So all of those things people can see. Your past events people can see, and as well as, which is hugely important, a way to book time with you. We do 15-minute consultations, 15 to 30-minute consultations for free with VHHughes Consulting. There's a way to reach out to me and book those. You know, those are things that, again, you think about when designing a website. Well, we are almost at the 20-minute mark, and I don't think we have any questions. Again, I wanted to thank Coach Rebecca Huggins for inviting me to do this. I really hope that this content that I gave helps someone. And again, my contact information is on the chat. So if anybody needs to reach me, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Again, my name is Venus Henderson-Hughes, and I am the founder and CEO of Henderson-Hughes Health Partners H3P, and I'm also the founder and principal of VHHughes Consulting LLC. Have a great night.